We love hip hop.
Some top five and Pressa in the beginning of this episode, right? I think we had a fruitful conversation last week about Islam and the hip hop community.
Mm-hmm.
So Top 5 has made his pilgrimage to Mecca, right? I'm saying that right?
Technically, the pilgrimage is Hajj, which is like it's part of the 5 pillars where it's like every Muslim ought to go to Hajj if they are able to.
Right.
Umrah is like an optional pilgrimage, but you still get a lot of blessings and you still go through a lot of the ritualistic aspects. But
Okay.
Hajj is like set in a certain season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me show y'all over here on the screen here.
I guess technically it is a pilgrimage though. Wow, that's the Kaaba.
Allahu Akbar. Okay, كبير طواف. الله أكبر. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Mecca. I know my lineup's kind of messed, but this is a bigger thing. Mecca. Come on.
We love hip hop.
Come on. Come on. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm good. Yo, Future. Allahu Akbar. Shout out all the fans watching. Future. Yo.
We love hip hop.
You know what's so crazy? I used to pray to God and myself to do this. Yo, let's go. We have 5 more left. Assalamu alaikum.
Right. So
Mashallah.
We love hip hop.
he's out there. He's moving around. There's another video of him. Is this the video I have here? Let me just pull this up on the screen, or let me just pull this up before. Yeah, he's getting his haircut. Right. This is courtesy of Keepsake Solid.
I asked the man for a fade and he gave me this. Bomba clot. Your Future. We gotta go to Turkey after this, my boy.
So I asked the man for a fade and he gave me this. That's what it is.
This is like Jordan. It's not like this is not prime Jordan. You know the Jordan when he came back at number
We
45?
love hip hop.
Bomba.
Right. So, is that for religious reasons too?
Yeah, it's customary. I'm not sure if it's just for Umrah or Umrah and Hajj, but whenever you go to Mecca and undergo this pilgrimage, yeah, they have a guy that like shaves heads and you usually shave your head.
Wow. I do see also that Pressa has also converted to Islam, right? This is not too long ago. Like there's a video of him right now where he's also, I don't know if he's in LA for this video here with Baby Who.
If you go to Germany, most Muslims in Germany are immigrants. Many of them from Turkey, and so on, and all.
Mashallah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Didn't Doobie convert as well?
I think, yes, I also seen on the Torontology Reddit, people were saying that Doobie converted. I feel like I saw a picture of him like, like praying, or I don't know, it could just be stuff that I see on the internet. My question is, what I learned last week with music not being allowed in Islam, how is it that there's so many artists who've converted to Islam while being musical artists? Lil Durk, same thing, right? There was a big showing when he did his conversion, and like it was him and a bunch of brothers, and they were praying, and it was like, but then like now where he is, he's sitting in jail for his drill music that they're now trying to use against him.
I don't know. I feel like, okay, with a lot of individuals, not just rappers, right? Especially if you come from a non-Muslim background, maybe your religiosity isn't that strong. Maybe like, yo, I grew up in the Catholic Church, but I don't really believe that. Like there's not that much structure in a lot of religions. Islam specifically has a very rigid structure where it's like, okay, you pray 5 times a day. This is what you do. This is what you don't. Oh, I believe in one God. You know, like it's called dawah. Dawah is pretty much like the way they try to proselytize people to get them to join, right? So they'll be like, okay, well, tell me, do you believe in one God? You'll be like, yeah. Do you believe that, Jesus, Moses, all these guys were messengers? and then they'll throw Muhammad in there as well.
Right.
And then you're like, you know what? Maybe I've been a Muslim like in belief this
My
whole
whole
time.
life, yeah.
They're like, all you have to do is say the Shahada. It's one sentence and you become a Muslim. You don't have to like be baptized. Like there's no crazy. It's literally one sentence.
And I know somebody's gonna jump in the comments. That's not even facts. Like, I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to make it up. I'm not anti-Islam.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think there's an appeal to Islam, especially for people who crave that sort of like structured discipline in their life.
Yeah.
And it gives you access to a very strong global community where like Muslims are pretty organized. They ride for other Muslims. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
even for business, it's like you interact with a Muslim businessman. You guys are both Muslim. You guys are part of the same ummah, the same community.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's almost like you're going to work together, you know? It's a strong community, man.
So you guys don't feel like there's some kind of a little bit of level of compartmentalizing when it comes to all of these artists that are like, especially the ones who converted. If you've been born into it, that's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're making choices to make music, even like do things in the streets and stuff like that you know are against the rules type of thing, right? But when you go and you convert, you look for that structure, but then still live the same lifestyle, or not even live the same lifestyle, still create music. You're not creating like religious music all of a sudden. You're still making the same music.
Definitely some compartmentalization and
this is not an indictment on Pressa or any of the man them who've just converted. I'm just saying all of them as a whole. I'm trying to figure out the mindset.
I mean, there's so many rules. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it, in a sense, it's kind of like, you know, Allah is forgiving, come as you are in a sense. But like, there are clearly defined rules. So there's definitely compartmentalization. But even with people who didn't convert to Islam, like Muslims that I know, sometimes will drink or do blow or like, you know, but they won't eat pork. Yeah. Or like there's certain things that during certain times of the year they're not going to do. Or like, even French Montana. French Montana's a Muslim. Yeah. He'll even fast. Some of them, everyone, you know, they're having premarital sex. So it's like, there's a lot of compartmentalization, but no one's perfect. Yeah. And Islam is the fastest growing religion. And a lot of that is not just from birth rate, but also conversions.
Yeah. And I know in the comments, people are going to have these things to say as well. Why aren't you guys having the same kind of scrutiny towards Christianity? Right?
Yeah.
Because when when somebody becomes like a born again Christian, in my opinion, you can like literally see them trying to do this big switch. Like, oh, now my music's not the same. I'm doing Christian music and whatever. And a lot of times they'll backslide, as they say in Christianity. But like, you could like literally see them trying to do some type of different thing. It's almost like a grift.
And I think it's kind of like socially accepted that like Christians don't really stand on that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like they be like Monday to Saturday they be doing everything under the sun, and then Sunday they just pray for forgiveness, and then
yeah.
And I don't think also the Christian religion, and listen, the super Christians don't get cheesed. I don't think it's taken as seriously because of the commercialization of it. Yeah. Like you see all these mega churches, you know, there's all these like this negative connotation on like, yo, the church is just there to take our money through collections and all that. So like,
and the priests and be touching up the boys and
all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the reputation is not as strong. Like, so when mans talk on Christianity, ain't nobody getting cheesed, bro. But like if you say the wrong thing about Islam, bro, mans are ready to take your head off, fam.
That is true. And I think that has to do with the parts of the world that spread that civilization. So for example, like we know like the Roman Empire kind of like colonized Christianity and spread it roughly, you know what I'm saying? Like those like colonial powers eventually. And before they were Christian, they were kind of like wild pagans, would have orgies. Like they were kind of big on like rationalism and free thought and stuff, right? Yeah. Whereas like the Islamic civilizations were a little more strict. And I think with Islam and Judaism, there's more emphasis on legalism and the law, whereas Christianity, obviously there are still rules, but it's been advertised as like, oh, it's faith over like your works in a sense. They say faith without works is dead, but like no one's righteous under the law. So that's why people can kind of get away with like not following rules, you know?
Yeah, but then like nobody gets mad when people are like, you're not living Jesus like.
It's true. It's too lax. That's the problem with modern Christianity in its like
Yeah.
current form. It's too lax. Everyone's just like, oh, it's between you and God. Like I can do whatever. And like, Jesus died for my sins. So like, no matter what I do, I'll never be righteous. So I just have to believe in Jesus. But it's like, no, Jesus still stood by the law. Like Christians, realistically, in my opinion, shouldn't be eating pork. You know what I'm saying? But every Christian country, pork is like probably their number one food. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to Italy and all these other spots. But it's not like you just do away with the law, but that's how it was advertised by certain factions of the church, like the Catholic Church and stuff,
Yeah.
But that was because their society was eating pork. Their society had all these saints and stuff. So you're not even supposed to make an image of God. But you go to the Catholic churches and stuff, there's all these murals. There's Mother Mary. Like people are praying to Mary and stuff. Like it's not biblical in a lot of ways.
They're praying to idols. What were you going to say, Natural?
I think this due to like programming and stuff, they kind of made Islam seem like much more serious. Like, because even with South Park, when they were gonna do a parody of Allah or whatever, like they were doing like what they kind of said was terroristic threats or whatever. They were saying, oh, like we're gonna like bomb the studios or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like like society kind of sees Muslims as like much more radical, and they see Christians as much more like
tolerant.
Yeah, and like soft.
Pussy.
Yeah. That's the way to, that's the way to put it.
We can
like,
say whatever we want to you guys. You ain't gonna do nothing.
But like a Muslim will like they'll pull up and blow up the spot type shit.
Yeah.
So do you think that is part of the draw that is bringing so much people from hip hop culture, like African Americans and people from over here that are from the diaspora that are like, you know what? Like we've learned all this Christianity all our whole life, and this shit ain't that serious. I'm gonna go over here because they look like they're standing on business.
I think so. And I also think there's a strong Muslim presence in jails. And if you're in jail, having 5 prayers to look forward to every day and having a community and having the ability to like learn and like reading the Quran and stuff, like it gives you spiritual value and that discipline and that structure, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people convert to Islam when they're in jail.
This is true.
A lot of people convert outside of jail too. Don't get me. I'm not just saying like, oh, you gotta be in jail, before our Muslim viewers
we were
attack
using
me.
Pressa as one of the examples in this segment here, right? So like he's outside and free, you know what I'm saying? Living in Los Angeles doing this thing, and he decided, I'm gonna convert to Islam. Like this year or last year. It's not that long ago.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to know, I think, that you need to know before converting to Islam. And I think a lot of people, they prefer it to Christianity. And Christianity, like you said, it's been advertised as this like white man savior like religion. So a lot of people who are over that are like, okay, I'll go to Islam, Yeah. Even though low key, like Islam is like, I don't want to say it's the Arab man's religion, but like that's where it was started in Arabia,
Well, isn't like Arabic the language that's being used?
Literally. So you have to pray in Arabic. The language of heaven is in Arabic. And it's interesting because, and like, don't get at me for saying this, viewers, but Islam claims to be an extension of Judaism and Christianity, right?
Right.
But every single prophet in Judaism, and then including Christianity, they were all from the line of Isaac. And that's where the seed was, right? Muhammad's an Ishmaelite. He's from Ishmael. Remember, Abraham had 2 kids, Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael was the one he had with his slave woman Hagar. And then Isaac was with Sarah, which was like his wife. And it was like a miracle that Isaac was born because Sarah was older.
Read the whole Bible, eh?
No, I'm not like an expert, bro. I'm just saying. So I think it's interesting because, for like the entire Abrahamic traditions, everything's been through Isaac, but then the last prophet is going to be through Ishmael, and it's possible, bro. I'm not, God knows best at the end of the day, but to me, that's like always my argument against Islam if you're like claiming it's an extension of Judaism and Christianity.
But sometimes the you that was had with like the other woman turns out to be that guy, because maybe they were neglected growing up in them things. So like
100%. And even in the Bible, God said, I will bless Ishmael. So you look at the Arabs these days, oil, billions of dollars, they're like trillionaires. Yeah. So it's like Ishmael will be blessed, but the seed will be with Isaac. Right. And then a lot of times the Muslims, if they hear that argument, they'll be like, oh, well, which version of the Bible are you talking about? The Bible's been changed so many times. I also think that's an appeal of Islam, is that they have a unified Quran. Whereas like there's so many versions of the Bible.
Yeah, the King James version and all that type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So I find it interesting, and it opens up like an interesting conversation. And hopefully no one gets hostile hearing me say this, because I've always been interested in these topics. Like when I was younger, I would like be at Young and Dundas listening to the debates and watching debates at home and stuff. So I love like comparative religion.
No, I could tell.
Yeah.
And like even with like these guys, like, you know, I see them, they're both, you know, they're both Islamic, you know, in their faith. Forgiveness is something. These mans are beefing. You don't think these guys could maybe kind of put things aside?
For the sake of Allah?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be ideal. Unfortunately, you know,
Probably not gonna
Muslims
happen.
beef all the time. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
shouldn't in a lot of ways. And I can hear that. And it would probably be beneficial for them to not beef. They probably get rewards from Allah. You know what I'm saying? If they
Yes.
stopped and they unified. But
More abundance.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So over under on top 5, like if we were betting people, like how could we put this in a betting system for the audience to be able to participate?
Over under and them reuniting in 6 months?
No, not that.
Okay.
Because you know he's moving very spiritually right now. He seems like he's cleansing himself. Even the conversations I've had with him, he's like, yo, I'm not on this shit no more.
Yeah.
But I've also had those conversations with him before, right? So when he touched back on Toronto soil, do you think he's going to be the cleansed, new, improved top 5? You know, keep the hair bald and just be the religious figure now, or is he going to go back to the bullshit? How do we put that on a, you know, on a betting thing so that people can participate? So,
I mean, okay, here's what I think. I think someone can hit all 5 of their prayers every day as they have to.
Yeah.
Eat halal, avoid drinking, avoid pork, and, you know, do all these righteous things and still be wild on the side. You know what I'm saying? Like both things can be true at once.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to judge because like we don't know what he's like. Well, you know what he's like behind closed doors, but like he obviously has like some type of social media personality he feels like he has to upkeep. Plus, like whatever gangsterism he feels like he has to uphold as well.
Yeah, and I'm not putting this as an indictment against him. I'm just saying, like, how easy is it going to be? Because, like, he's over there in Mecca right now, right? So it's like, it's a holy place. Everybody's just in that vibe right now. So it's easier to feel that, you know, that spirituality. And even through the whole month of Ramadan, like, just everybody just cleansing themselves.
Yeah.
It's so hard to stay cleansed once you get back into the world, man. That's the, I can't relate because I'm not dealing with that struggle. You know what I'm saying? I guess, be a piece of shit 365 days a year type shit. But like, I would imagine like if you're really deep in your Islamic faith, it must be a hard thing to live in this like Western world, bro, with all of the bullshit, fam.
Literally, bro.
Like-
it is. It's like almost anti-Islamic. The West is
Everything.
like, yeah, and a lot of, it's interesting because like a lot of Muslims will come here and like they'll want to live like Islamically as opposed to like being Westernized, because it's almost like they're at odds being like a Western person and then being a Muslim.
Yeah.
You know, because there's different values, you know?
Yeah, and quickly, like the abundance can come if you like submit to Allah, right? But we're in a society where like we need to, social media makes us money. Look at Brittany Renner. She's a bad example, but she tried to convert and then she wasn't making no bread, bro.
She also said like, why do I have to wear this thing that covers my hair? You know, and like, you know how she has like an afro and stuff.
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
like, I think it was also like, there's an element of like
She
race.
wasn't able to go get her Fashion Nova bag and all those different things. And like in this society, you need these different things. But then, you know, if she was more serious, you might have to say, you know, fuck all of that.
But I think you could exist as a Muslim in Western society. Like what about Western society is like restricting you from sticking to your faith?
Okay, here's what I'll say. Like, and it's not necessarily things that the West forces you to do. It's like, let's say you're educated in the West, right? So you learn to be like very, let's say like even dressing, for example, right? Like women here in the West, it's like promoted that like you should wear what you want, you know? So there's also like a contradiction there where it's like, you know, Islamic countries, it's like modesty, You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like, but then if you're looking at the West for influence, it's like wear what you want. Less is more in a sense. It's more empowering.
But wear what you want means like wear what you want. Yes, you could wear less if you want, but also if you want to be modest and if you want to be more reserved, you could do that
You could
as
do
well.
that too.
But
yeah.
there are stigmas around, like, let's say we saw a woman in like a niqab, you know, like, which is like everything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Obviously, that's an extreme form, but like there are women that do that, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna look out of place compared to the majority. Even hijabis, like some of them will like, for example, they'll be hijabis, but they'll wear tight clothes, which still reveals their figure. So it's like them being modest is also like compromised. They're not just wearing like a full like gown, for example, you know?
But you don't think there's stigmas around like women that dress provocative as well? And like, if you put a provocatively dressed woman in like an office setting or whatever, she would be out of place as well. And that's like Western society.
100%, 100%. And I think there's something to say about, you know, encouraging women to dress modestly. But from my experience with like, you know, Muslim family members or Muslim friends is that they'll have double lives if they grew up here. So they'll have their Western version of themselves where that's how they were raised. They're from here. So they're like regular Canadians, you know, we're
They
very
listen to
like
Drake and shit.
Yeah, like listening to music. Alcohol is like, I would say, a part of Western culture. They open the friggin' bars at 8 a.m. That's how important alcohol is.
Yeah.
You know, partying, dating before marriage, sex before marriage.
This is all like hedonistic shit.
But I feel like it's part of Western liberalism or being secular, having that separation between religion and state where it's like that we have the sexual revolution, you know, like, so all these things are like promoted Western values and they're completely in contradiction to like Islamic values.
Yeah.
So there'll be one way around their parents and then there'll be one way outside. And you'll hear horror stories where like a Muslim girl gets married here to like another Muslim boy. And then the Muslim guy it's arranged marriage. Then the Muslim guy finds out she was getting trains ran on her.
So not even
when she was younger.
horror stories, not even horror stories.
Horror stories, hojabis, you know?
Hojabi.
There's a whole term for it, bro.
Hojabi's a term?
Yes, I didn't make that up.
Wow.
It's girls who wear the hijab to appease maybe their own faith, but mostly their parents. But then they're here, so they're doing madness. You know what I'm saying?
Hojabi's is
But
Don't make that the title.
Okay, I was just about to type it out.
Maybe you could.
I just feel like if you're religious in any religion, you should just recognize these things as like, oh, the devil's trying to get me. Like, oh, all these like, oh, sexy women try to lust me. Oh, all these like people on social media trying to like tap into my greed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is just tapping into all these sinful, hedonistic like bullshit. So I feel like if you're religious, you should kind of just like recognize that as like, oh, this is temptation. This is a distraction, rather than like, oh, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, baby. You know?
No, I agree with you. And what I will say is there are people who are like hardcore Muslims who do demonize everything in the West. You know what I'm saying? The music, the club culture, drinking, the way people dress, tattoos are haram in Islam. Like they demonize everything, right? But I feel like the vast majority of people are in the middle where it's like, yeah, they believe XYZ, but in practice, they're also from here. So you get like almost like a dissonance or like a split personality. Like a lot of Somalis are Muslim, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But sometimes they might drink and party because they're from here. Like, and it's almost like a secret double life because I think at the end of the day, like no human can just like follow a book to a T. Like it's almost like your culture precedes your religion. So like Reza Aslan says this, where it's like, if you're a violent person, your version of Christianity or Islam is going to be violent.
Yeah.
If you're, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like tailored to the person. And a lot of us are growing up in the West, so we're more like tolerant about stuff.
Yeah.
We're more like lax and like, you know, accepting.
So hold on, let me play a clip for y'all because last night I was rolling through Reddit as I usually do.
Don't want to admit that, then I fucking will.
And I found this clip. And it kind of goes into what we're talking about here, right? It says Myron, right? And I don't know how Myron is somebody that I'm looking for information. Or,
he is a Muslim, I think.
He is a Muslim, though. Myron on Muslims praying with loudspeakers in the middle of Times Square.
There's a reason why they're doing that. I'm not stupid. All right? They're shutting down Times Square, praying with loudspeakers and shit to do what? To assert fucking dominance. Okay? That's what they're really fucking doing. I'm not stupid.
We love hip hop.
Let's just call a spade a spade. All right? I'm probably the only Muslim that will admit this shit. When they're shutting down Times Square, when they're fucking blocking off the streets, when they're doing the Adhan 5 times a day, it's to assert fucking dominance. And if you bitch ass niggas don't want to admit that, then I fucking will, because you guys are fucking liars. It's to assert dominance, it's to let people know that we're coming. And I'm here to tell you guys, the people of these Western countries have every right to resist you motherfuckers saying we're coming and we're going to take over. They have every right to resist. They really do. Because this is not a Muslim country. It's not. And I know you guys don't like hearing that shit, but if you guys want to hear that shit, go to Saudi Arabia, go to UAE, go to Qatar. These countries are all fucking beautiful. They're safe. You don't got to worry about shit. You don't got to worry about 99 genders. You don't got to worry about fucking lutis. Stuff I'm going to be gushinu. Mafi lutis. Mafi haramia. Mafi mushkila. Go over there.
Mafi mushkila.
Go over there, bro.
There's no problem.
Goddamn. But when you guys come in here and you guys fucking want to pray at the Times Square and everything else like this and fucking assert dominance, because that's what it is. That's what it is. It's called spade a fucking spade. That's a fucking problem. That's what annoys me with these motherfuckers. Like, you guys are not honest. You guys are just not honest.
So, what are your thoughts on him with that, with asserting dominance? Like, yo, we are here. Is that a thing? Is that like a belief system that's going around?
Okay, here's what I will say about that, because I want to tread kind of lightly, because I don't think every single Muslim who takes part in that has that agenda.
I doubt that.
But there are Muslims who want to see the West become Muslim, whether it's individually by converting individuals or like adapting Islamic values. And you see it in Birmingham in the UK, right? Like, it's like a vast majority Muslim place, and they have like Sharia courts and stuff. So they have their own way. Yeah. And they have this in England, right? And it's in Islam, there is a goal, a political goal of having a one world ummah. So the whole world being under Islamic rule, you know? And that kind of explains like their conquests, because like they would want to convert people. They would want to like spread Islam, right? And obviously like Christianity kind of did that too, but it wasn't with the, how do I say, like with the founders. Like Muhammad was like trying to do conquest while he was alive.
Right.
Jesus, I don't think caught any bodies. He didn't have no hats. Muhammad had bare hats, bro. You know what I'm just saying? And this is historical fact. You can say, oh, it's because he was attacked first, whatever. It's just true, bro. It's like there's more of a conquest mentality in Islam,
and it's more recent,
and it's more recent than in Christianity, based on the founders. I'm not saying about like followers. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about the founders, the Prophet Muhammad versus Jesus, and how they live their lives. You know, so yeah, I think there is a goal in Islam to establish a one world ummah, and it's in there.
And we'll wrap up this segment, because I feel like we beat this topic to. I feel like even saying beat the topic to death and different things like that is like haram, you know what I'm saying?
Haram.
But like maybe that's also some of the draw of all of these rappers converting. It might be a part of the quote unquote conquest or whatever of the world, to switch the world to change the world to Islam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You said Jesus has no hats. Did he get any things? Or did he get sacrificed before he was able to like get a wife?
Some people say he had a youth with Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, yeah.
But wasn't Mary a virgin, or was that?
No.
That's
Mary
his
Magdalene,
mom.
the
That's
hoe.
his Dukes. Okay. Oh, Mary Magdalene's the hoe.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay, that's not. But wasn't Muhammad's thing like a youth?
First of all, one of them, yeah, Aisha.
Okay, so I don't know which one I rate.
Muhammad had, I think, 8 wives. And
now you're gonna get us in trouble.
Okay.
Watch the comment section's gonna be like, bro, Aisha was this years old. Okay, this is all verifiable information. Look at the hadiths. Like Aisha even wrote some stuff.
Do you rate the man that has one wife but she's ran through, or the man that has 8 wives but one of them might have been a youth?
But we don't have like biblical confirmation that Jesus was married, even though some people suggest that because he was preaching in a temple, the prerequisite for that was that you had to be married as a man. You know, so I've heard multiple theories, but
answer the question.
Which is worse? Which is worse?
Yeah. Who'd you rather be?
Well, I'm not trying to smash a 9-year-old, so I'd rather be Jesus, definitely. Who would you rather be? You want that 9-year-old nons? You sure?
I'm good still.
Okay. This is a crazy. Maybe we should take this out, bro. We just opened up a whole new set of ops, and these ops do not play.
Yeah.
Nah, shout out to our Muslim viewers. We're just this is information that's online. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to spread no hate because at the end of the day, I respect Islam and I have Muslim family, and I don't think it's a bad ideology. But there are things that are written facts. You know what I'm saying?
Get us out of there. Yep, get us out of there.
No, and
I knew this guy set me up with that. I should have told you that.
That's great potting right there. What's little Berete and YG up to?
Let's get there, man. Let's get off this. Oh my God. Astaghfirullah.
What's these Toronto rappers doing? Well, listen, Lil Berete and YG are beefing. Okay, let's get out of the religious territory
So
here.
who would you rather be, bro? You're so messed up. Oh my God. Would I rather be the son of God or Prophet Muhammad? Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below. Listen, we be podding. Okay.
Oh my God, this pod is crazy.
Let's get to some other topics here.
We
Thanks
love
for
hip-hop.
watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.